Okay, I believe we are live. Welcome everyone, I'm Gina Schreck with SocialKNX. I'm glad that you were able to join us. Happy New Year. This is our first kickoff Google Hangout for 2015, and we committed, we're always so busy doing Google Hangouts with all of our clients, and we decided, you know what, we better make sure that we're doing Google Hangouts on a regular basis for ourselves. So SocialKNX is going to be doing a Google Hangout the first Monday of every month. Come rain or shine, travel, moving, doesn't matter. We will be here. And speaking of moving, you'll notice my lovely view here from the 30th floor here in downtown Chicago. We actually moved today. Kirk and I just got here about an hour ago, maybe hour and a half ago, grabbed a bite to eat across the street, which is always nice, even though it's sub-zero weather. All right, I think it's like 11 degrees here. But my nose fell off and I had to come back and reattach it. And I'll be going back and forth, Denver and Chicago, but we are launching a new life here in Chicago. So this is our view for a while. And as we get settled and move in here. So welcome to Chicago, Chi-Town right here in the background. And so we will be doing these Google Hangouts and really just grabbing a cup of coffee and joining us for Marketing Cafe. Really, it's a time for us to pick a topic and kind of chew on it a little bit and talk about it, and I want you to join in the conversation. I have enabled the Q&A chat, so if you have questions, just throw those in there. I'll be watching that, and I'll flip back and forth. Also, if I see any questions coming in on Google Plus or on Twitter, feel free to chime in with your questions. And also, if I don't get a chance to answer them or I don't see your question right away, just put those in there anyway, and I'll make sure I get those answered in the chat after. But today we're going to talk about the 3 hot tools that you really need to incorporate into your marketing mix for 2015. And these tools are interesting because I really see, and it's not just me, but these are big trends going on that some of them started in 2014 and will continue. And one of them, the first one, is video. We all know video has been king, but this is the year you finally need to either commit to doing Google Hangouts like this one, to create video content to really connect with people so that you're able to build rapport through video, you're able to bring your content through video. Here's a couple interesting facts. If you do a Google search, the top results usually are video content. As a matter of fact, Google says the top 70% or the top 100 searches that people do out there, 70% of the results will be served up in video format. So video definitely is more findable than regular text content, and the more video you can put out there, the better. Google Hangouts actually have some really interesting benefits because when you schedule a Google Hangout, so it's scheduled at least a day or two in advance, Google, and you post it on Google+, Google's actually going to have high SEO juice for that Google Hangout content. So make sure you fill out all the details in your Google Hangout description and information about the Google Hangout, but it'll actually help your Google Hangout be found in search rankings not only 24 hours before the Hangout, but it carries over another 24 hours after the Hangout. So for a few days, it really does help you get some good traction for your SEO work out there. But not only Google Hangouts, I mean, let's also think of all the other ways that you can do video content. Vine video is hot right now. So if you can do a 6-second video, I want you to tell me. I want to see your Vine link because I'm fascinated by those. I've done a few of them. You have to be very creative and really put some production into your Vine videos. To get a message out in 6 seconds takes talent. But there's some cool things you can do, and check out some of the things on Vine. Follow some really creative people and get some ideas from them. Instagram, you've got a little more time. I think it's 15 seconds that you've got on Instagram. Still not a lot of time, but you can get creative, do some fun video content, and that's another way. But a lot of folks are doing vlogs now. So whether it's every day, every week, just turning on the video camera and having a chat about a topic that might be on your heart, maybe something that's in the news, something that's going on that you want to dish up about on video and then put that on your blog. So that's another way that you can incorporate more video. I like doing interviews with people, or where you have more than one person, more than just one talking head. So if you don't like the concept of just sitting and talking to the camera, then make sure you have someone else that you can bounce back and forth and have a dialogue going with your video content. So that's another one. But this year, you've got to do it. You've got to make that commitment. I just threw it out there. Now, of course, I threw out my commitment to doing this the first Monday of every month before we found out we were going to move. So, of course, I threw it out there the first Monday. That would be January 5th. And then we found out we were moving and that we'd be flying out to Chicago on January 5th. So, you know, you have to decide, rain or shine. All you have to do is have internet connection, right? And all of a sudden, you're live. So you can do it. If I can do it right here, you can do it. But that is the first big tool that you need to figure out how to incorporate into your marketing mix, and make that commitment. Start pumping out some great video content. The second trend and tool that we're seeing because of Facebook's decline in organic reach. And what that really means, for those of you who might be saying, you know, I have no idea what that means, organic reach on Facebook. Well, we all know when you post something on your Facebook page, you might get 1 view, 2 views, 10 views, 20 views, whatever, but it's not the number of fans on your page. And that bothers us. We're like, why isn't everybody seeing my content? So, you know, I'm sorry, I'm looking at, do you need to add the transcript? Oh, thank you. Who asked that? See, I'm blind without my glasses. Let me just put on my glasses so I can see. Great question. And Peter, hey, Peter, shout out to you. Yeah, Peter, look, I'm in Chicago today. Moving out here, be doing the back and forth Denver thing. But do you need to add the transcript on your video? Yes. And here's why. It's kind of more of, for those of you already doing video, if you're not already adding your transcriptions in there, a really good SEO tip is to have your videos transcribed. Now you can do it yourself, or you can we go to Fiverr, Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com, and we actually now connect directly with the woman that we found on Fiverr a couple years ago, but she does all of our transcription for videos, and you have them transcribed very simply. It's into a Word doc, and then on YouTube, if it's a YouTube video, you want to upload that Word doc into the closed caption area of your video file, and that will again give your video SEO juice. Because when you think about it, your video itself, me talking right now, is not searchable on Google. The description is searchable, the title is searchable, the tags are searchable, but the actual content is not searchable. So that transcription of your content suddenly has all your words, and now they are Google searchable, which makes you think, if you can step back and plan a little bit when you're creating video content, think of the key questions that people will type in on Google when they're doing searches. Make sure you're saying those words. So maybe you would want to make sure you say, how do I use video in my marketing, or tips for using video in my marketing? Because then when I talk about those tips for using video in my marketing, it's going to come up as searchable content. So Peter, shout out. Thanks. Happy New Year to you. Hopefully this is going to be a banner year for real estate in Denver, in the Denver market. And if you need a great realtor in Colorado, there's your man right there, Peter. But so that second tip, doing Facebook targeted advertising. So most businesses have almost given up on Facebook. We're frustrated that we're putting out all this great content and very few people are seeing our content, and we just wonder, what's the point? Here's the point. The reason to have a business page on Facebook, it doesn't matter if you have 10 people who like your page. The real key is you have billions of people who are using Facebook, and you can reach them not through the page content you're posting, but through targeted ads. And those ads, the trend and tool you need to incorporate is called a dark post, or Facebook calls it an unpublished post. So you write it as if it's a post that's going on your page, but it never shows up on your page. It actually goes out as an ad, not on the side with all the spammy ads or the great shoe ads that I see, but it's going out in the news feed of your target market. So for example, I might put a post. Visuals are key when you're doing these dark posts. Create a great visual and put that into the post, make it something catchy, and then link in that post either to a landing page, somewhere that you're going to drive traffic to. Ideally, again, most people think, oh, I want to drive everyone to my Facebook page so I get more likes. I don't want to say give up on that, but don't put so much weight in having lots of likes on your page. It's better to have more people signing up for your newsletter and more people signing up to download some of your products so they're getting into your list that you have. So on Facebook, create these unpublished posts, put a link that drives them to your website, to a landing page where they can download some great content that you've created. Maybe it's an ebook, maybe it's a tip sheet, and they're downloading that, and now you've captured their email address, which is more valuable than a like on your Facebook page. So these are called unpublished posts, and you go into Facebook's advertising section and you'll see all these places that you can do ads. Now, what I love about the unpublished posts is you can then say, I want to target it. Here's a great example. We have a client of ours who is an image consultant, and she was doing a workshop. Well, we wanted to target specific people that lived in a specific zip code area because it was a live seminar, and so she wanted us to reach certain zip codes, and then we were reaching people who were interested in. So you can say, I want to target my ad to show up to people who are interested in fashion, who watch shows like What Not to Wear, who follow other pages such as Rachel Zoe. You can be very specific with who you're targeting, and then your ad will only show up not in the ads, but in the regular news feed. So let's say that Carol logs in that day to see what her family is doing. She's reading her news feed. She doesn't go to your page. She sees your post in the middle of her news feed, and now you've reached your target market. And if your ad is appealing and visually appealing as well, Carol might click on that and go over and download your ebook or your tip sheet, and now you've actually converted someone into a lead that was just someone on Facebook. So that's a really hot tip and tool for this year, because Facebook continues to change, and they're really looking at it saying, the people who are on Facebook are people who have money now, and as the demographics get older and older on Facebook, that's great for us who are using it for marketing. But we have to be a little more savvy, because they're not necessarily seeing the content we're posting every day, and we spend all this time posting great content, may not be reaching the people we're hoping to reach, which is okay. Still post that content, because if someone's looking for you, they're going to go check you out on Facebook, and you want them to check out your page and see that you have real content. That, I think that's a key. Back to video. The other question, Peter, do you need to have the transcripts for SEO? You don't. It's extra SEO power if you add the transcript, because there's so few words. Although the description area, you can pack a lot in that description. So I would really make sure, you see so many YouTube videos, they have just maybe 2 sentences of what the video is about, if even that. And people aren't using the tag feature. So you really want to make sure you pack that with at least, I always say 10. Find 10 tags that you can put in that tag area. YouTube will automatically suggest a few tags. They're so random. Don't trust Google's transcription, and don't trust Google's tagging, because they kind of just pick up on different words that might have been said, and it's not really what you're doing that. How often should you do a dark post? I would suggest you set a budget for yourself every month, and what you do with that is now the good thing is, on a dark post, you can set a budget. So you can say $50, $200, whatever you want for the month, and you say that's all I want to spend, and you're only paying when someone clicks. So it's like a Google ad. You can say I want to pay for clicks, and then when you hit your budget, it stops. The ad will stop running, and then next month you can evaluate, do I want to hit a different demographic? Do I want that same demographic and just run that again? I would suggest even A/B testing. where you have maybe 2 or 3. On Facebook, you can do like 6 different photos, and you can write different content if you want, and Facebook will automatically rotate those unpublished posts into the advertising to see which one's getting the most traction. At the end of the day, whichever one's getting the most traction, it shows it more often in there. So I would suggest starting with a low budget just to test it, and then create some unpublished posts, test the water, see how it works, and then increase your budget if it's working for you. If you're getting that conversion, I mean, that's the key, is you want to fill the pipeline with leads, and you start looking at how am I measuring. Now, each person measures that differently. So I would say when you're doing advertising, really ask yourself, what am I trying to achieve? Am I trying to get people to sign up for something? Do I want them to download something so it goes into a, you don't want to just build this email list and do nothing with it. But then you say, okay, after they're in this list, am I sending them follow-up emails? Am I calling to do, maybe set an appointment with them? And that goes a little deeper into your email marketing, that you really have to have some specific things pulling people into that sales funnel and identifying what stage they're in and having actions that you take. Just collecting people isn't going to help you if you're not then doing something with those names, those email lists. But yeah, great points. On the third thing that you want to make sure that you do for 2015, and this goes into the whole list building, this ties in with this, email marketing is really making a huge comeback. And it could be because we're really not seeing the content in our news feed, and now through email, and maybe people miss all those emails they were getting. I don't know. I don't. Now with Google, Gmail coming out with the inbox and the way it's filtering, it is making it harder for marketers to get their message out there. However, if you can really put meaty content into a newsletter or an email campaign, so going back to that Facebook ad, if you're pulling people into that sales funnel and then you create maybe 5 to 7 follow-up emails that drip different content that's valuable content, it's really going to be effective, and you're going to have an audience that appreciates the information that you're sending. So definitely, I see another question coming in on Twitter. Is there an email service that's best? Oh, that's a hard one. Your email service. Thanks, Catherine. There's so many. I mean, you've got Constant Contact, Vertical Response, MailChimp, MailDog. I mean, there's lots of them out there. And then there's services like Infusionsoft and HubSpot. We've used Constant Contact, MailChimp, HubSpot, and now we use Infusionsoft. But it really depends on how much time you have and how big of a team you have to create content. Some of these bigger services like HubSpot is a very robust marketing system. Lots of stuff that it can do for you. It has automated, although a lot of them now, even MailChimp has an automated feature. You can set up multiple emails to drip campaign. You pay for that service, but those are great to use, but you have to realize if you're paying for it, someone has to create the content. Someone has to write these emails. You can't write it just one set of emails and be done. It's every month. You need new campaigns. You need new focuses. What am I sending out? Who's the list I'm targeting? What's the demographic I'm trying to reach this time? Maybe I'll create an ad. It'll download this product, and then I send this email, and then I follow up with a phone call or another email. So, you've got to put in the time. Email marketing takes time. You can't just throw out random content. It really needs to be targeted to pull them into your sales funnel. But I do think this is a year, maybe you bring on someone part-time that says, you say, okay, I need you to write content for me. And again, thinking of everything holistically, if you're blogging, you want to make sure at the end of every blog, there's a call to action. Perhaps it's sending them to one of your download products, because not a lot of people subscribe to blogs anymore or comment on blogs anymore, which is another distressing thing for people. But I think it's okay because they're reading your content. If you have a call to action at the end of your blog, then they're going from there to your website, You're getting them pulled into the funnel with the email address. So it goes back to that plan of being holistic and having that there. So yeah, great question. There's a lot of them out there, and I would say start with either the low cost or free versions, but you know, you really don't need to spend a lot of money. The Infusionsoft is a little pricier, and then HubSpot is even more pricey. And you just have to know, do you have people on board who can actually help pump out the content, because you're going to pay whether you're putting content out or not. And Mindy, hey Mindy, how often should a dark post go out? And that was Mindy, sorry. Yeah, I would say you keep it running. You know, again, you can create a post, a dark post, and it's not going to go out one time. It's an ad that shows up, and you can say, I want this ad to run. You can actually set a date. I want this to run until January 15th, and then the ad stops. Or you can say, I want it to go until it hits this cap, this budget, then it stops. But until then, Facebook's going to continue to serve it up to different people in your target market. And like Google, here's another point, there is a bid system. So it's going to say for your ad to reach that demographic, there's a cost per click. And the more targeted you can be, the better. If you're very broad and everybody's trying to reach that target, you're going to pay a lot per click. But let's say that you set a budget of, let's say, $1 per click. And it really, some of them are very low cost, again, depending on how you're setting your demographic when you choose the audience you want to target. But it's going to set a budget for you per click. That you're also bidding against other people. So your ad may go to these 10 people today, and someone else is hitting the others because their bid was a little higher than yours. And then tomorrow, maybe yours is going to hit more. So Facebook, of course, uses their algorithm to see who's gonna win that bid on the clicks. So do some good targeting on yours and test it. You know, run it a week, 2 weeks, see how it performs, and then change it up. So I think that's also helpful. But, and Mindy, we need to get you in the Hangout, and we could talk about some fun things. And Mindy actually lined up. We're going to have a fun interview on a Google Hangout with Major Mom. Is that what it's called? Major Mom, the folks who do the professional organizing, and that'll be a great hangout because we're going to talk about cleaning up your digital life as well as your physical life. And we've been going through major cleaning up of the physical world, purging everything to move. So I need to also do that with all my digital files. I tried to do that the other day with Dropbox. Holy smokes, I've got too many pictures in a couple of my files. So that'll be an exciting one to get her on, and we'll do a Google Hangout with her. So stay tuned for that. But let me know if you have any other questions. I'm excited to get this year kicked off again, focused on the right things. I hope this year you guys all take some time to write down some specific marketing goals for your business. Do you hear the sirens going off? This is Chicago living right here at its finest. We said we're going to have to get used to. Okay, can we do this? I think we can. This will be a big adventure. But yeah, set some specific goals for yourself, for your marketing this year, and then write it on your calendar to take action, because I've been talking about doing Google Hangouts for a long time for ourselves. Again, we do them weekly for different clients. So it's kind of one of those things, the cobbler's children had no shoes. And we kept putting off our own Google Hangouts. And so I just said, let's just put it on the calendar. Let's make it happen. And I'm also launching a podcast, Marketing Cafe, and we'll be getting that going. So stay tuned for those of you who just would rather listen as you're driving, as you're walking, as you're working out. And we'll get that launched in the next week or so. So that'll be exciting as well. And let me know what your questions are, because those always make great content. We want to bring you the content you need for your marketing to build your business in 2015. Thank you guys so much. I can't believe 30 minutes has also already flown by. But let me know how we can help you. If you have questions, email. You can reach me, Gina@SocialKNX.com. You can reach me on Twitter @GinaShrek. You can reach us on our SocialKNX site at SocialKNX, and just about anywhere. Just Google SocialKNX or Gina Schreck and you'll find us, and we'll get your answers to you. But Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us on our first consistent Google Hangout for 2015, and have a wonderful and prosperous new year. Bye, everyone.